Okay.
And guys, just welcome tonight to week 2 of our virtual party training that we are doing throughout the month of March. Super excited to have you all on the call tonight. And Marcy is going to be leading our call tonight and teaching us how to host coach for success with virtual parties. So Marcy's so excited that you are leading us tonight. Guys, if y'all want to put yourself on mute, that way if you've got any background noise, we won't have that. And then if you need to share anything, just feel free to unmute yourself. But thanks for taking time to be on live tonight. You are in for a super big treat.
Hey, Kim.
Kim did her first Zoom call tonight. Yay!
Okay.
So I'm going to let Marcy get started sharing with us.
Okay. What we're talking about tonight is host coaching in virtual parties. So how many of you do virtual parties? If you could just raise your hand or, okay, so we have a few that do virtual parties. Okay. All right. These notes are actually from a very, very successful person that does virtual parties, and I just pretty much went over them, highlighted everything, and then I might add some things to it that I think are important also. His name is Stephen Joseph is what we call him. His last name I'm not going to try to pronounce, but that's what he goes by, so there we go. Okay, so this is once you have the parties booked, then you start host coaching right away. So what he says is host coaching is imperative, and host coaching online is equally, if not more important than in home parties for great sale, but also obtaining future bookings that are being added to the group. Host coaching helps to ensure your party's experience for guests is organized and purposeful, which will in turn attract guests to want to book with you and to sell our products as a consultant. Being intentional with your host coaching also helps to form a relationship with your host. To me, the relationship that you form even with your online host, Dawn and I were talking about that today. I have met some just extraordinary people that, I think the world of, and they think the world of me, just as if we met in person. And some of them I have met in person. We had an online party, and then we had a live party later. But I mean, these people are real people, just like you and I. We're just communicating with them through Facebook messages. The goal is to help them to understand why you are instructing them to do what they're leading up to the party. So if it's like we said at the meeting, I think it was last Saturday. Was it last Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, last Saturday was the meeting. If you put somebody in front of you and you put a trash can behind them and you ask them to throw the ball behind them, they're not going to hit it most likely. But if you instruct them how to do it, then they're going to hit it. So we talked about that at the meeting, and same thing holds true for your online host. You've got to instruct them what to do so they're not blindly out there. You hear some background noise. It might be.
Yes, and I tried to mute everybody, but it muted you too. So, guys, if y'all want to all mute yourself.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, and so I lost my place. I'm sorry. They feel, okay, so if you partner with them and you create a relationship with them, being intentional, coaching them, then the goal is to help them to understand why you're instructing them to do what is leading up to the party. Then they feel like you are invested in the success and are more likely to follow your lead to work for you. And by that I mean actually engage the party guest and help secure bookings from their party. So what you got to have is a system, and I'm going to talk about the system that he shares with us. You have probably heard, 100 times, you got to have a system. Systems work, okay? By having a system helping you to appear to the host as the authority on how to run the best virtual party, and that they should listen to you. So they will follow your lead, okay? My host coaching begins when I book the party, and that should be true for everyone. Right then, no matter whether it's online or if it's like we're talking about, or if it's, in-home party. When you book a show, tell the host you will be adding them to a few of your past shows, a good one and a bad one. Or we have talked about before, you could, if you don't have a good and a bad show to share with them, you can always say, create like a story of how well host A did and host B didn't do as well. So they can follow, which one they want to be. You ask them which one they want to be. And that's pretty much what he's saying here. You either add them to one that you had, or you, a good one and a bad one, and then you ask them which one they want to be. And of course they want to be the good one. Let's see. Once the party is set up on the back end of Facebook, message your host individually with the following language. Hi there. I'm so excited for your Pampered Chef party to begin this week. I have created your Facebook group and added you. So look for the notifications from me and click OK at the top. Now it's time to add friends. You will want to add 150 from your friends list, because that usually 75 to 100 will decide to become a member of the party and click OK to see post, and then 12 to 13 will order. Giving you a great party sales and host benefits. Don't prejudge, everybody eats. And the beauty of a Facebook party is that it really isn't awkward adding people you haven't seen for a while. And I believe now, because he did this before we had the change in Facebook, that they pretty much now get a request. It's not just adding them like it was before. They get a request to join the group. So it's pretty much, it's better. I think it's a little better now. It says, and then he says, make sure that you add 20 at a time so you don't get marked as a spammer. So adding friends to a group is tricky, as that you have to click OK to be added officially, or they have to click OK to be added officially. It sometimes takes people, you might add a while to see the notification to then click OK. So they will still appear as a friend, and you can add them to the group even after you just added them. It will all work out. Just scroll all the way down to the end and add your friends list, and add some people from the latter part of the alphabet and go back and forth. If you can't find the group, actually click on your groups from the Facebook homepage on the left under Explore, which that was pretty neat. I didn't know that you could find groups that way. I just kind of scroll through them, so that was neat to learn. Scroll and you should see it at the bottom, and you can approve to be added. I have tasks each day to make sure the party rocks. So another thing about tasks each day is Pampered Chef has already created for us host tips of the day. So this is something you may want to have in a file on your computer that you can send to the host every day. Keeping in contact with the host every single day is very important, because you don't want to drop the ball, and you don't want them to drop the ball as far as keeping up with the online event. So those pics are in marketing imagery, and those tips really do help. Sometimes there's things like, what would you suggest that I get for such and such? And then other people who have been to parties before or have Pampered Chef products, they'll suggest stuff to the host. So those tips are really good. let's see. Let me get a drink of water here. I'll get to talking and okay.
Hey, Marcy, I was
Yes.
going to share my screen real fast.
Okay, yeah, do that.
Because I have to be honest with y'all. I've not looked at this,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a host planner for virtual
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, that's it right there that I download that whole file and I have a file on my computer with all those images in it. And then I just pick the ones that I want to share with you.
Yeah. So guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's all right here for you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your host coaching tips. Everything that you need is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody familiar with that other than me? Am I the only one that hadn't been there? Okay. Thanks. Sorry.
Okay. I think I got all that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so then you would create something like this to share with your hosts that they can post on their wall. And they say, "Hi all, I'm excited to be hosting an online Pampered Chef party right here on Facebook." And then starting whatever day that you're starting it. You can play games, win prizes, and shop for awesome kitchen tools from your couch. My consultant is really fun. I have added many of you to my party group, but if you were not added and want to party with us, just click the link to my group below and request to be added. It's that simple. Facebook is always making changes, so some people get notifications about being added to the group and some do not. Go to the Facebook home page and look to the left under Explore Groups. So it's basically the same thing that you told your host to do. And that's another thing. Having little things like this to send to already made up, and I have them on my phone, like in a folder where I just copy and paste. And when you're out and about, and you need to post something to your party, your online party, then you've already got it right there. You just grab it and either post it or share it with your host. So that makes it a lot easier. Okay, so then you would share with them, and I do events, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not as familiar with groups, but we just did the mega party and I got a little more familiar with the groups, so some of this is making more sense. But what he says to do is when you add more people and everything, then he will send a message to you telling you how many that you added. And then you tell, if there's not that many or, it's not enough for the party, you ask, would you be willing to share some language and the link to your group tonight? Your friends log on to social media all different times during the day. So there's a good chance we will capture even more people that want to party with us by posting it only, by not posting it only in the morning, but at night too. This is the last post on your personal wall. So he has them post a couple of times on their wall to get even more people going. When they say yes, then you send them, let's see, wait a minute. Then they say, they post the same thing, and they can even post it in the private message. Yep, this, okay. And then he's talking about if they say yes or no, what to post. And we can get you a copy of this, or actually, I'm pretty sure Dawn's posted it. And if anybody needs a copy of it, we all have it, or not. Well, some of us do. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I've lost my place here now. I think I skipped the pages. What happened here? So bear with me just 1 second. Here's another thing that a lot of us do in host coaching is we record videos. That way you only have to do it one time and, send it. I've seen Stephanie Richardson. She does a good video where she welcomes her host and tells her host what to do and everything. And I made one following her lead that was pretty good. Another thing is you can voice message on Messenger if you want to leave them a little message, because you want them to hear your voice, not only just typing back and forth to them. Okay, I don't think I skipped the page there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so would you be willing? And they do that. And okay, then this is like towards the end of the party, I believe. Where are you? This is a group message. If you've got more than, okay, if you got like a group message when you have more than one host, and a lot of people will put their host in a group message, so that a lot of people have a lot going at once, like 7 or 8 a week, and hard to keep up with all of them. So if you're sending you got them in a group, that works pretty good, especially a group message instead of just like in a group. A message is better.
Marcy, I know Lori has started doing that. She puts all of her virtual hosts for the week.
Right.
That. So
and then she even does little challenges and stuff for them too. That makes it more exciting.
Yeah, and it's she put me in one so I could watch it.
Oh, cool.
And it's nice because what she's doing is she's creating a little bit of a competition with them.
Right.
And they're having fun competing with each other. They're having fun encouraging each other. And she's getting her work done all at one time instead of having to send it out to each one individually. So that's awesome.
Right. And anything you want the host to post, to their individual parties, they can just copy and paste it from that one spot, and then you don't have to do it 100 times, So let's see. Okay, and over here here towards the back, there was something else that was good. Oh, part of your host coaching is this, like we we're just talking about a challenge, is to challenge your host to get bookings. And he says challenges can be scary for some and exciting for others, but either way, people are flattered when someone believes in them enough to present a challenge. Eventually, you will want to get to the point where you're having your host on the first day of the actual party, where you're showcasing the products and everything. And he says, I reach out to my host for that week with the following language. He says, so I have a challenge for you, and I hope you accept. I always challenge my host to help me get bookings, and if you can help me get 3, I will add a free gift to your order when you place it on your party. And you will have a half-price item at all of the parties when they qualify. Basically, I send you the language and you message people you think would do it and be great hosts like you and might want to earn some free products. You do a group message with each one and me. You send the message and then I take it from there. Pick 5 people you think would be great hosts. That way you will likely secure 3. What do you think? And then of course you wait for their response. But what he does is he gives them this language to say. Hi, I just wanted to send you a quick message and say thanks so much for going to my online Pampered Chef party. I really wanted to host a party online because I love their products and wanted to get some for free, but I didn't want to clean my house or vacuum. Doing one online has been super fun. Doing one online has been super fun. It's a win-win. The consultant I'm working with, Marcy, has made it easy or really streamlined, and she is great with her customers. I thought you would be perfect to host an online party yourself if you wanted to earn some free goodies. So that's perfect to send to 5 people that are hosts, maybe think that are interested in hosting their own party. And then what you do as the consultant is you go, like he says, you go in for the kill. It's just funny. Once the host sends the message individually to 5 and you see that the potentials have seen it, go in for the kill. You say, hi there. So Janie told me you would be a great host for an online party. It is super easy. You just need to invite Facebook friends to an event I create and post once a day. Post I send you. So he even, makes that clear that it's not, they don't have to think something up. He does it for them. Literally 5 seconds of your time copying and pasting a day, and you will make out like a bandit. Most of my hosts earned over $100 in free products and 3 half-price items and never leave home. I have, and he gives 2 days open. What do you think? And then why does this work? The potential host has some sort of connection with the current host that is a greater emphasis on them to decide to book versus just doing it off of a post of mine in the party. So no matter how strong or weak the connection, it is definitely better than coming from the consultant. So if it's coming from the host, they know that they want them to help them out if they can. Let me see if I think that is. Dawn, do you have anything to add to that? Seems like there was something we were talking about today. I don't think I wrote it down here.
Guys, the one thing I will say about virtual shows, and I'm not a huge virtual show consultant. I have done many, and I've had some successful ones, and I've had some duds, like all of us. But the one thing I'll say is just like a cooking show, and Marcy said it, it really is about creating that excitement and that enthusiasm with your host. And you cannot do that if you're not in touch with your host. And I will tell you, a definite fail for any virtual show is to have a host that's not excited and engaged and involved in the show. So that's our job as a consultant to do that. They don't come to us knowing what to do and how to be the best host. But most people that host shows, they want it to be successful. They have a wish list and they want it to be a successful show. So just take it seriously that it's your job to support that host and partner with that host so that everybody succeeds. Not only do you succeed, but she succeeds, and her guests are going to win too because they're going to really get something out of that show. Not just you posting a whole lot of stuff and then buying some products, but that you truly are making a difference in their life by sharing things that are going to make their life easier and teaching them tips and tricks and techniques and recipes that are going to make their life a little bit easier. So if you're going to do virtual shows, I'd rather you do 1 or 2 a month and really do a good job working with your host than filling your calendar full of virtual shows and really not doing a good job working with your host. So just like regular cooking shows, host coaching is the secret to success. And, all of us are different. A lot of things that Stephen Joseph says are completely opposite from what I've learned and what I have found to be successful. So you just have to find what works for you. This is one more way And you may pick and choose some of the things that he says, some of the things that Marcy says, some of the things you've heard me say, or Pampered Chef, some of the things that are on the virtual party training. Lori is also does a ton of virtual shows. We have people on our team that are out there doing these regularly. So reach out to them. But ultimately, you're going to find you in a virtual show. And that's what people are going to fall in love with. And that's why they're going to want to host shows with you, because they relate to your personality and the way you tackle things. But I would say we've got just a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions about host coaching with your virtual shows?
I have a question. You were saying that you're not supposed to do, but how many at a time do they throw you out or treat it like spam?
It says 20, but I think that's changed. But I don't know because I don't do groups. So I wouldn't push it, because
You're talking about inviting 20 at a time?
Yeah.
I'm trying to, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
probably not, because when I was doing mine last week, it pushed me out, and I had to stay out for let me go back in and edit and more. And I was already late in the process as it was. So
And
no,
that
I
was
don't think it's planned.
That was a group, Kathy?
Yeah,
That was what Dawn did last week.
Okay.
And I'll
Because
tell you,
I'm adding a few, but the next now that evening it didn't bother me. But when I went in the next morning, when they had some people to respond, and I started adding them, it gave me error messages twice. So I quit because I didn't want to throw me in jail. So.
and I will tell y'all, and Lori shared this with us, and those of you that participated in the mega show last week, I told you do not go in and add them to the group. You send them the link to the group so that they add themselves to the group.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about the spam. And the other thing is Facebook is changing every day the way they do things. And what Lori was saying several weeks back is if we add them to the group, then they may not have access to all the tools in the group. Maybe they can see what's being posted, but they can't comment.
Yeah.
So the way that I did it last week is when they said yes, I went into the group, copied the URL, and then I pasted that into a message and told them to click join group. And when they did, I got a message to approve them for the group. So I felt that was very successful. And I would probably, at this point, that's how I would recommend doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I did was I used the green dots and sent them the message that Dawn gave me to send them. And when they sent me back yes, then I went into the link where it says invite, and I would click on invite for the person that said they wanted to go in, the one wanted to join.
Right. But yeah, that's what I was saying. You don't invite them to the group. You actually send them the group's link, Kathy. So if you open a group and then you copy the URL and send them that link, then they can join the group. And you don't have to worry about your number of invites. Okay?
Okay.
Dixie, do you have a question?
No, I was just going to make a statement because, like, when you go into the groups and you invite them from there, if you invite too fast, it will lock you out in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably what happened to Kathy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another thing that'll happen if you are copying and pasting private messages multiple times,
They'll warn you.
They will warn you, and they'll lock you out of that as well. So you do have to be careful.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Anybody else? Question about how to host coach for successful virtual parties?
Well, I got another comment too. I had a virtual fundraiser last month that actually didn't get turned in until this month. But I hosted differently, And I basically, like you said, told her, you need to do this, this, and this. And my virtual party was over just a little bit over $800.
Is
Awesome.
that the biggest one you've ever
That's
had?
the biggest virtual party I had. And I'm like, oh my God, so I was thrilled.
Yeah, that's
When we
great.
actually got the last of the orders, and it was over 800.
That was awesome. Good job,
Yeah.
Dixie.
Good host coaching.
And that's it. Like I said, I changed, and I sent those tips out, which I had never done before. And I think that's what really, like got, a little bit more than what it, ones in the past have done. So
Yeah, keep doing what works.
yeah.
And guys, on the other side of that, if you are not getting the results that you want to get, then change something.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to somebody that you admire that is getting results and say, hey, this is what I've been doing. What do you recommend I change up? Don't keep doing something that's not giving you the results that you want. You are always able to change things. Another thing I'll tell you, if you don't all know this, Carol and I had this discussion today on PCU. There is a party experience training. You do have to do the in-person and the virtual party experience training in order to see the virtual party documents. So what I was showing you and what Marcy was talking about, the host coaching tips, that's part of the virtual party documents. And that is not available to you until you do that in-person and virtual party training. Doesn't take long, but it is very, very informative, and it will open you up to all those documents. And the one thing you need to remember in this business is that you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. Pampered Chef spends a tremendous amount of money researching and developing systems, as Marcy was talking about tonight, and programs that are designed to help us be more successful. So use that stuff. Don't feel like you've got to reinvent the wheel and come up with everything on your own. Use what's out there to your advantage and to get those results. Good. Any other questions or comments? Bianca, I know you do a lot of virtual shows. Anything that you could share with us that you found to be successful?
No, I agree. I think a lot of the host coaching is really important. And also interacting with the customers, the guests on a one-on-one basis, and nurturing that relationship for even future parties.
Yes, that's exactly right. And Lori always says, take it off Facebook as often as you can. So instead of just being in that group commenting, go over to a private message and try to build a conversation and a relationship with those guests at the show. Very good. Hey, Amy, are you learning tonight too? All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you, Marcy, for doing your homework on Stephen Joseph and bringing that info. I did post those documents in Ferreira Organization. If you are not in Ferreira Organization, let me know and I'll add you so you won't miss out on any of these trainings that we're doing. And the information's over there so you can grab it and use it. Guys, thanks again. Y'all have a super fantastic week. And we will see you next week for how to set up and run virtual parties. So join us back here next Monday night at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Night.